promised to show you how Chuckroast and gravy turned out. I'll give it a minute when people come in. But this is the one that I prepped and seared last night for slow cooking, and now I'm back. If, as promised, we'll give it a minute to let some people get in here. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Howdy guys, let me know in the chat if you're new here. If you were here last night, this is a follow-up on the prepping video for the chuck roast we did live last night. Appreciate you guys coming in. Just waiting for a few people to hop on in. But turned out pretty good. Like I said, it's simple. Chuck roast gravy, and I like pickled jalapenos in it, but I like the little bit of spice and a little bit of the vinegar profile. Hey, Carol Hook, how are you tonight? I'm just popping up here because I did a prep cooking video yesterday and slow cooked this chuck roast overnight, and promised everybody I'd let them see how it turned out. So howdy from California. So I seared it and I slow cooked it at on low for 9 hours, and then I don't know if you're aware of the content that I make, but I have a carnivore diet channel, so people are always asking me how I make my carnivore food. And so I use xanthan gum to thicken the gravy. It's in kettle and fire beef stock, salt, and then I do use some vinegar in there as an emulsifier, but it's delicious. You can cut it with a spoon. Yeah, I seared it. Well, you can check out the video from yesterday. I prepped a brisket for sous vide for brisket chili. Made a steak for dinner, and I prepped this chuck roast. I seared it and got it in the slow cooker. Oh, it's super tender. Oh, very good. I'm so glad you tuned in. And then vinegar and pickled jalapenos and hot sauce are always my guilty carnivore pleasure, if you will, but not so guilty because I kind of go through things one at a time and see how they affect me, and so far these are pretty good. North Florida, awesome. Is it warm in Florida right now? I bet it's getting pretty hot there, huh? Tell me in the chat what your guys' favorite carnivore meal is. Mid-80s. Can't go wrong with a bone-in ribeye, huh? Those are amazing. How do you cook it, Carol? How do you cook your ribeyes? Your favorite way, I guess. Oven under broiler? All right. Hey, B-Dog. This is the Chuckroast and gravy from slow cooker. I want to show everybody. The latecomers to the party are going to have to go back and watch the beginning of the video because this is going to be gone pretty soon. Tastes great. Did carnivore for 3 months, lost 37 pounds. Got off plan, starting over again tomorrow. Absolutely. You know, this is just it's a process moving forward, you know. It's hard to get it, but as long as you just keep making sure, you know, I know you got off plan, and I don't know how long you're off plan, but we tend to, you know, it's good to stay on plan as much as possible. I mean, literally as much as you can humanly work it out. But, you know, these are just learning things. It really is. I know it all sounds, you know, cliche like a Hallmark card or something, but honestly, you're learning how to stick to things every time you restart this thing, because one, you're remembering how good you felt before and how bad you felt when you got off, and two, you're kind of starting to, you know, if you really kind of dissect why you fell off before, you're going to start building kind of some tools to not do it in the future. I know that when I used to do, you know, I fell off of keto for like 2.5 years, and I was on and off and on and off, and I used to think it was all just a big failure, but it wasn't, because I was learning the things, the cycles that would, you know, get me to fall off. And one of them was, when we start feeling better, we forget why we're doing it, and we feel so good, we're like, I'm going to celebrate with a pizza, and then you go off the rails, because right after you eat it, you beat yourself up, you get mad, how could I do this, I'm so stupid, I'm still an addict, you know, whatever, and then you just start eating again, you know, all that crap. But you know, the real thing to do is just not beat yourself up and just go, well, I screwed up, life sucks, you know, life's hard, food's addictive, I'm doing better, and just hop right back on and just keep going, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Felt great on carnivore. And just I don't know if you saw our live earlier tonight on this under the live tab on 700 plus, but we talked about this a lot, and you got to stay kind of inundated with the carnivore community, or else people can kind of talk you out of carnivore. They can fill your head with nonsense. That's awesome, Carol. I appreciate it, B-Dog. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, we just became very close friends. I think we all came from, obviously we all came from a very similar spot, and I don't know, just feels like we're kind of brothers and sisters. Yeah, no worries, Carol. This Chuckroast and gravy is hitting the spot. Tell me, do you guys like vinegar in your gravy? I know that sounds like a crazy question, but I love it. But I am partial to vinegar. But I think beef and vinegar go together fantastically. Yeah, the gravy. So I, it's just kettle and fire beef broth. I did 7 pounds of chuck roast seared, put it in the slow cooker, slow cooked it with 64 ounces of kettle and fire beef broth for 9 hours on low, and then at the end I put a cup of apple cider vinegar in there, and then I put 1 jar of pickled jalapenos with all the vinegar in there as well. Puts a bunch of vinegar in there, add salt, and then my Ninja slow cooker has a sear setting, so I put it on sear, and the sear cooks off a little bit of the water that's in the apple cider vinegar, and it thickens it, and also browns the fat, so it's not just a light greasy color, it's a real dark rich gravy. And then I add a little bit of xanthan gum at the end and want to get it as thick as I want it, and it works out great. And I just put the pickled jalapenos in there because I like a little heat and a little jalapeno kick. There's a lot of fat in here because this is, chuck roast is already fatty, but I also deglazed the pan with beef broth last night. I seared it in a bunch of beef tallow, and then I deglazed that pan with beef broth and put all that seared beef tallow and flavory bits into the crock pot. But I'm not going to be on too long. We just did a 3-hour live. I just wanted to eat this, and I promised everybody I would show them what the end result this is. So I'm just getting some food down before bed. How's everybody's night going? see how thick that gravy is. Try to put a little bit of I mean, it's pretty thick. With no flour or anything in it. Grab a drink. Alright. Now I can talk. Done stuffing my face. What'd you guys have for dinner tonight? I know we had a vote for bone-in ribeye a little bit earlier. Also, put in the chat if you guys have ever done any fasting or priming and what you think of it on carnivore. What's your favorite mode of carnivore? What are you guys doing? What do you guys do during the week for meal planning? Do you guys cook on the weekend and shop on the weekend, kind of have it all set out, or do you just kind of do it on the daily? Oh, sorry, my chat wasn't moving. I didn't see that you guys had all this stuff in here. This vertical chat is weird. How many meals a day do you eat? I eat 2 if I can. Sometimes I only eat 1. Yes, a lot of times it's about 50-50. Usually OMAD or 1 or 2 meals. I've never tried. You'll have to try vinegar in your gravy. Cook up some ribs yesterday, 3 steaks and some chicken. Carnivore is great. Looks like I'll be having steak tomorrow for lunch. Nice. I put some vinegar in there. Yeah, B-Dog, you know what's up. What part of the country serves gravy with vinegar? Never heard of it. I'm 59. I don't know. I don't know where it's famous in the country, but I'm in Montana, and it's a thing here. But we also put ranch on everything. I've been carnivore going on 16 months. I've got a good book to read before I go to sleep, so pretty good. Awesome, that's way good. No worries, B-Dog. Did I notice myself at the meeting? There you go. You were talking about a steak cooker I heard today from one of your other videos. What type is it? It's it's the Ninja. I think it's the Ninja. It's the Ninja 6-in-1 XL electric grill and air fryer. Is the one that I use. Blogger. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, just as long as you don't put flour in it to thicken it, that's one of the reasons that I use gravy or use vinegar, because it helps thicken it, and then I finish thickening it with the xanthan gum, and that's carnivore. Yeah, the gravy works out good. Hi, Monday, middle of the day here in Australia. Howdy from Australia. Hi, Laney. Had boneless ribeye and beef patties. My night's going good, but Bobcat just chased my cat in the yard. Sitting here on the front porch, hoping you don't stick his head out around the corner. Yeah, that dude would be in danger if he came back out. I'd be planking that dude. I'm on a 3-day rest at the moment. Carnivore has made fasting easier. That's a fact. Fast. You're on a 3-day fast. Awesome. I like 2 meals, bacon and eggs, then steak. Right on. Preparing meals daily, right on. I'll be planning for the most of the week. That's awesome. I just think that that's important to have a plan, because when you don't have a plan and you're not mindful of what you're planning on doing, then other things sneak in, and everything else is so geared against us to just slip right in there with something. It's really good to always have a plan, and know what you're doing, know what you believe, know what you're shooting for, and just plan that you're going to be attacked by things trying to get you, so you can stay successful. Roast, not toast. That's what I figured you meant, for sure. Love ranch, right? I do a carnivore. No, I just drink milk. I do a big shop on the weekends and take advantage of the specials. I just did a big meal prep yesterday. Usually don't eat until around 3 p.m. Right on. I'll probably eat late lunch and small dinner. That's good. I got bacon, eggs, burgers, steaks ready for the week. That's awesome. Yep, we're all ready. If you guys watched the prep video yesterday, I got 20 pounds of brisket in the sous vide. I got 2/3 of this roast left over, and I couldn't finish my steak yesterday, so in the morning I'm going to chop up the rest of that steak and cook it with eggs and have a steak and egg scramble in the morning. And and then I'm going to have to vacuum seal everything when it's done, and individual packages on all that Chuckroast beef or briskets meat chili, because I start my fast on Tuesday, and then I won't be eating again until midday Saturday. So there we go. I am glad it's fasting season, though. It's gotten a lot easier. Tell me if you guys are high-fat carnivores or high-protein carnivores. What do you guys think is better for you? I got bacon, eggs, high protein. 4-day fast, yeah, it does help me a bunch, especially healing things up. It leans you out, and I do it mainly for healing autophagy, or for autophagy healing my lymphatic system. Not sure yet. High protein's better for you? I try to stay 50-50. I'm still just trying to eat meat. That's a good way to do it, yeah. I have my own theories, but I think you just have to eat, and eat whatever's palatable. That's, whatever meat and eggs and those things is palatable to you, you have to eat. Try to get your fat up if you can at first. And the answer is always eat. Carnivore food, when you're craving something, when you're feeling weird, when you're low on energy, just always eat. And then until you're free from cravings, you shouldn't really try any fasting or anything until you are completely, until the carnivore part's easy, until eating meat and eggs is easy, till your stomach is adjusted to your fat adapted, till things level out. Then you can start fine tuning things. What has the most protein on carnivore? Well, that's kind of a funny question, because there's things that have protein rating. It's kind of silly actually, and I mean not a silly question, but it's kind of silly how it works. There's protein in in a lot of things, even grain, right? But the protein doesn't absorb the same. So it's like protein in grain only absorbs at like 3%. So if you have 100 grams of protein in grain, I think you only can absorb and utilize 3% of that. So you're going to get 3 grams of protein. But red meat protein absorbs at 97%. So if you eat 100 grams of red meat protein, you're going to absorb, well, that goes to another thing, but potentially you can absorb, let's say you ate it in 2 meals, you could absorb and process, 97 grams of the red meat protein. So I would say beef by far. It's going to be, just by feel, I know that beef and salmon are my 2 favorite meats, not by taste, but by how it makes me feel. I get the most benefit out of them. You just go with whatever fat's in the meat. Let's see. I have a 1/4 stick of butter in my coffee most of the time. I put a big chunk of butter on top of my hamburger patties with cheese, and I eat steak. That's a lot of fat. That's good fat. Yeah, I probably do more fat than 50-50, but I don't count. Yep, no worries. Didn't think about salmon. Yeah, no worries. Those are just the 2 meats that make me feel the best, but specifically raw salmon too, sashimi. But it makes me feel the best. How long have you guys been carnivore? Yeah, if you guys put in the chat, I'd love to see that too, because I have not taken boron supplements at all. No, I haven't even heard of them. Definitely would be interested in knowing more. Because I just ate intuitively with the fat and everything too. But then I had to get a little bit more deliberate with the fat, and it's made quite a bit of difference. No worries, Carol. That's the best place to, at least you're starting, and you're gonna look back at, it's funny. I mean, I've been almost 16 months now, and it does not. It feels like a couple months. It really does. It's crazy. 2 months, 7 months carnivore in 3 days. Nice. Congratulations, guys. Keep it going. Yeah, now I do a 2-to-1 fat to protein ratio, and trying to think how long I've been doing that. I guess about 6 weeks now, and it's made quite a bit of difference for sure, especially with the fasting. It makes fasting so much easier. Fasting's just a breeze with the high fat. Answer me this. Do any of you get nervous about high fat because you're worried about the calorie intake? I also know there's many other reasons that it's difficult, digestion, kind of keeping you on the pot sometimes, and also it's hard to get down sometimes if you don't have a good plan. 6 months, but sometimes keto, I hate going back and forth. You don't inspire me, but I have a few keto weaknesses. Oh, I hear you. It's a rough one, but you'll get through it. You just got to keep pressing forward. Angela, yes, worried about the fat. I got you. What do you have on a fast? Just water. Just water. Well, and I take iodine. Water and iodine supplement. Not worried about fat calories in the beginning. Yeah, no, you shouldn't worry about it at all. I'm just asking. I'm curious what everybody, because everybody's a little bit different. People always worry about the weight for sure. That's a big one. They worry about calories. Uh, it's only it's only my first week on carnivore. I'm just keeping it simple, and it seems to be working for me. No cravings. Absolutely, that's for sure. For the first 90 days, all you need to do is eat a lot of meat and a lot of fat, and just stay away from everything else. Keep it as streamlined as possible, and just eat. That's all you need to do. Water for 4 days. Wow. I know it sounds hard, but it's not. Once you're primed and you're fat adapted, it's super easy. In fact, uh, I find it as easy. I'm not kidding. I find fasting as easy to do now as eating is. It's crazy. Not anymore, B dog. I don't. I don't. Some people put it under their tongue. It just depends too. And like if I start feeling off, and I know it immediately. I know if my metabolism's taking a hit. I know if my because I'll get a little bit of brain fog. I just feel not right. Something starts getting off. As soon as I do, start feeling any of those symptoms, I'll pull the plug on it, and then I'll refeed, and then get more fat in, and then do a little mini prime for 3 or 4 days, and then go back at it. I use Redmond salt when I'm eating, but not when I'm fasting. Bone is close to the bone marrow, and I've been on carnivore for 9 months. Blood pressure is good. Now the doctor says, see you next year. That's awesome. Good work. Well, at least you have a good doctor. Really now. Hi, good girl. Hi, good girl. My dog, she's wanting more meat. You already had your steak. Go lay down. Good girl. Come on, lay down. Get up here. Alright. Been ketovore mostly 2 to 3 years. Reverse type 2 diabetes. Congratulations. Fatty liver disease. Lost 50 pounds. In healing, I feel so much better. Amen to that. When I stay strict carnivore. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to get it out there. There's too many sick people that need to heal. You ever seen Cosette? Here, let me see. Cosette. There she is. Hi, Cosette. Hi, Cosette. Oh, chin scratchies. Chin scratchies. Chin scratchies. You got an audience, Cosette. Yeah. You got an audience. She just had her dinner too. And now she's like, we gotta go to bed, Dad. It's bedtime. Who's Eddie? Say hi. Say hi. There she is. There she is. All right. She's a good pupper. She's 17 years old. She used to, I don't know, I'm sure you guys have heard this story before, so I'll make it quick, but for those of you that haven't, before I was carnivore, I used to eat a lot of chicken, and I fed her just meat. She's always been a carnivore. I figured that dogs are meant to eat meat, and I had enough dogs in my life that the crappy dry dog food is just not great for them. So I used to feed her chicken, but she was having seizures for like 9 years. She had terrible seizures, and I took her to the vet. They drew blood, they did tests, they did x-rays and scans and all this crap, and they couldn't figure it out. And they just said it was hereditary, and that she was just going to have them. It's in her genetics or whatever. And then when I went carnivore, Actually, when I went ketovore, even, I started noticing that I didn't feel good when I would eat chicken, and it would knock me out of ketosis when I would eat chicken, and I just didn't feel great. So I just started naturally eating more beef, and when I started eating beef, there was no chicken in the house, so I started feeding her beef, and when I started feeding her beef, her seizures went away. And I didn't link the two together at first, because she didn't have them every day, but she had like one every month to 5 weeks. She'd have about 8 a year, and but they're big ones. Ones that I noticed, she was probably having maybe tiny ones, but she's having real big ones, like 8 times a year. And well, not even 8 times a year. It would be 8 times a summer. It was always in the hotter weather. Um, but her seizures went away, and I didn't connect the dots right away. And then when I went on carnivore, I before I started carnivore, I had low testosterone, and I was supposed to be on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. And I did research on how eating eggs have a bunch of DHEA in them, which is precursor to testosterone. And if you eat a bunch of eggs, it's like a natural testosterone cycle, and it can heal some things. So I started eating 36 eggs a day. In order to do that, I bought my own chickens. My sister raises them for me because she raises chickens, and my niece collects the eggs. But at any rate, when I bought those chickens, I asked the lady that was raising those chickens if there's something going on with the chicken, because when I eat chicken in the store and stuff, it makes me sick. I don't feel good. And she said, "Oh yeah, for sure that the chickens are Franken chickens now. They grow way too fast. They crossbred two species of chickens that don't mate in the wild. They won't catch in the wild, but they incubate them. And that's where they get these chickens, these Franken chickens, to grow up really big." And she goes, but kind of making full circle here. She said that we found it out that people were getting sick from them because everybody's dogs that were eating this chicken started having seizures. And when she said that, I was like, that's why Cosette stopped having seizures. And so to kind of recap, it had been about 16 months since Cosette had had a seizure, and I was not paying attention, and my mom bought some Costco rotisserie chickens. And this was just like 3 weeks ago, and maybe 4. And my mom fed Cosette a half a Costco rotisserie chicken, and she had a seizure within about 4 hours eating that chicken. So for me, it's 110% the chicken, and I don't feel good when I'm eating it, so I won't eat that stuff. So, but also, she's a poodle, and they're prone to hip dysplasia. And she had it just a year ago. She could hardly stand up. She couldn't get her butt off the floor because her hips were stoved up. And since eating the meat, she hops up on this couch like you just saw. She hops up in the car. She's doing much, much better. Let's see. Yep, Cosette from Les Mis. Yep, my wife named her that. That wasn't my thinking, but I think it's French for a little sweetheart or a little darling or something. But yep, Cosette from Les Mis. I do need a hat for the dog. That would be great. Oh, thank you so much. She's a good dog. Viewers always jump. Well, there we go. That's what, absolutely. Yeah, Cosette's doing so much better now. That's crazy. And we'll see how long she goes. She's the Energizer Bunny. I mean, she's very cognitively aware. She's the smartest dog I've ever had. I know that she doesn't mind telling me when she's going to eat and what she wants. She definitely will come over and tell me what time it is. Yeah, that is super interesting. I know that the keto diet gets prescribed for epilepsy too. Yeah, if you guys want to know more about the chicken, watch Super Size Me too. So the first one was about that, about McDonald's, but he made another one about the chicken, and it's the second documentary, Super Size Me 2. When you watch that, if you're like me, you're not going to eat chicken again once you see it. Yes, I love eggs, big eggs. I can't get 36 down anymore because I'm no longer priming. I'm fasting, which just makes your appetite a lot smaller, and I'm eating more fat. But I try to eat about 16 eggs a day now. If I can, I don't always get them down. And also, you got to remember that when I say a day, that's only 4 times a week. I eat a lot more red meat than chicken. I crave red meat and never chicken. Yeah, exactly. Me too. Um, Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, I feel so much better on red meat and salmon. Those are my two favorites. And I don't, honestly, I'm not in a good place to get salmon. I'm in the mountains, Rocky Mountains. So I just, I eat beef. That's what I eat. I do have some uh, bacon every now and then, but bacon doesn't make me feel bad. It just doesn't make me feel amazing like beef does and salmon. So I just stick more to the beef. No, not the eggs, the chicken. So, and the reason why is because the chickens that they produce for meat are different than the laying chickens that lay eggs. The chickens that we eat for meat, they're Franken chickens. They are literally Frankenstein chickens. They can't even make eggs. They're so sick. Those chickens, they grow 400% larger in 1/4 of the time. And I mean, they're so sick. They like their legs break and their hearts give out because they grow so quick and they're so just disgustingly sick. They're an abomination. But the chickens that lay eggs, you could eat those, but they're tiny. They're 1/4 of the size of the chickens that we get now in the store, and so the eggs are just fine. Some people that have a histamine intolerance will have a little bit of trouble with egg whites. Some people don't. But I don't have a problem with the egg whites. I mean, when I was eating 36 a day, I would eat about 18 full eggs, and then I'd actually get like another 30 just egg yolks because it was easier. A lot of egg whites can be a little hard on your stomach. But yeah, not the eggs, the chickens. Because in order to have an egg, a chicken that'll produce an egg, it's got to be a natural, healthy chicken, Well, as far as I know, at least the ones that we do in the wild. I don't know what they do. And like, I know that the store-bought eggs, the bleached ones, are junk. Those aren't good. But like farm fresh, organic, natural eggs are good. So. Before my baby was born, inspecting people in the room, the lady said, "What is the difference today than yesterday?" And I said, "It's the chicken." My wife looked at me funny. For sure, it is definitely the chicken. Like, go watch Super Size Me 2. It's on YouTube for free. Just go check it out, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's why all this chicken makes us sick." Yeah, most people absolutely feel better with beef or some sort of ruminant animal. I mean, I feel good with lamb too. I'm not great at cooking it. It's not super available where I am, and I'm just better at cooking beef. Yeah, check out that documentary. Meat chickens get harvested about 6 to 8 weeks old. Don't they? Yeah, about 6 to 8 weeks old, and they are full grown. Yeah, not only full grown, but they are 4 times bigger than like a laying chicken full grown. Like, it's crazy how big they are. I like the yolks, but not the whites. Yep. Laying hens don't start laying until they are 4 to 5 months old. Yep. Yeah, check it out. It's and it just makes sense. But I mean, how crazy is that my dog had a half of Costco rotisserie chicken, and within 4 hours had her first seizure in 15 months or 16 months. I mean, that was definitely the chicken. Now you could make an argument that, because I also heard that those chickens are full of seed oils and the putrid oils, so maybe that's what does it too, but maybe it's a combination. I don't know. But I know that it was definitely the chicken. I mean, it's got to be the chicken. That was proof positive for me, I don't know. It's disgusting. Yeah, that's where I'm at, B-Dog. Like, I like it, and I'll make lamb chops and stuff, but the lamb chops are really good, but they're kind of expensive, And they're kind of tiny, so, but they're tasty and they're very juicy. Yeah, Franken chicken. It's a real thing. Yeah, look at them. Their legs are breaking under their own weight when they're growing up. They have heart attacks. Like if they go out in the sun, they have heat strokes. Like they can't even go outside. They have to stay in a dark, cool, dark barn out of the sun. I mean, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts how gross and sick they are. You know. But I reckon. I just wanted to hop on here and show you guys. I just wanted to hop on here and show you guys the chuck roast and gravy. I was like, what was that? I keep wanting to. It's kind of a stew, but I don't know. Really, it's chuck roast and gravy because there's no other real fixings in there. But I quite enjoy it, and it's a good one. It's quick and easy. I mean, not quick in the fact that it takes a day, but I mean, it's quick that you only got to sear it for a little bit, and then you're done, and then you come back, the next day, and it's pretty much ready. So there's not a lot of hands-on or moving parts, and it makes 7 pounds of meat. So I mean, it's at least 3 big days worth of eating. And it's good fat ratio. It's very soft, very palatable. If you're fighting any meat aversion or palate fatigue on meat and stuff, it's a really good way to get around that. I quite like the gravy. If you're fighting any kind of sore throat or allergies or whatever, and you're craving something with like a broth, that works good. Yep, set it and forget it, absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. I think just ruminant animals are built to save us. Well, to cure us, to heal us, to be nourishment for us. The more that you think about it, I mean, I just think ruminant animals are God's juicers. They sit out in the field in the sun. There's all the vitamins that's in our food comes from the sun. It doesn't come from the ground. The sun puts it in the ground, right? And so we got these amazing animals that have 4 stomachs that can break down this massive amount of fiber. They sit out all day long and they eat all day long. Their only purpose is to eat grass out in the sun where they soak up all this nutrients and all these vitamins. And they have a stomach built for fermenting all this fiber, 4 of them, And they do that, and it's their only job. And then what they do is they take all that nutrients and they put it in their meat. So it's a condensed, tasty, fatty, wonderful package and format that we can eat. And that's perfect for us. And we got all these people that are like, juicing's so healthy because all this stuff has all this nutrients. It's like, yeah, it does, but we're not built to break it down. We don't break down fiber. We don't process that stuff. Also, we're not immune to oxalate poisoning, and the animals are. Those through the fermentation in their stomach and everything, those cows and those ruminant animals are. And so, I mean, ruminant animals, as far as I'm concerned, are God's juicers. They put them here because those things go out and eat acres and acres and acres of vegetables with all that nutrients that they're always talking about in them. They sit out in the sun. They soak up all the vitamins. They eat the plant life that has all the vitamins in the sun. And then they turn it into highly condensed, hyper processable, absorbable food. And I know that because now that I'm carnivore, maybe TMI, but I only poop twice a week. I eat a lot of meat. And I don't have all this waste because my body absorbs it. And it does wonderful things with it. It heals my eyes. It makes me grow better, back hair on my eyebrows. It heals my, thyroid. It makes my skin better. It's healing the lymphatic system and all these things. And that's clearly what it's meant to do, Let's see. Appreciate it, John. Proper human diet, the PhD, for sure. Thank you, big man. I appreciate it. I forget to ever say that. Yeah, absolutely. My skin is so much better, it's ridiculous. You know, I used to have dry skin, patchy, sore stuff. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And now my skin is 1,000% better. And just everything heals, you know? So it's absolutely what we're supposed to be doing. But I appreciate you guys. I got to get to bed. I got to get up early for work tomorrow. I just wanted to show you guys dinner because I know you were asking about it yesterday. I wanted to keep my word on that. And so I reckon you guys have an awesome night. Have a good week. Stay carnivore, stay meaty. And we will see you guys next week. Look forward to showing you how the brisket chili comes out. We'll see you.